Where are we here? Oh, I think we're live. Maybe we're live. I think we are live. Yes, we are. All right. Anyway, as we were saying, Samson asked me about my arm. Oh, I think it's live. I gotta turn this down. Um, I'm going to see a specialist September 4th for my arm. I severed the C7, which is one of the nerves up higher in your spine. And they're going to see if they can surgically reattach it. And if they can, then I should regain some movement. And then
Okay.
I don't know, I don't know if the surgery is going to also help fix some of the damaged nerves in C5 and 6 and 8, because those aren't severed, but they're damaged. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if that'll help too. So that's September 4th. I see the specialist then, and they're going to let me know if they can, if my arm's going to have any success or if I'm going to be paralyzed for life. I don't know. So only time will tell. But that's not important right now. What's important right now is we have live Mr. Olympia and Quinton Eriya here, who's getting ready for Italy, and we also have everybody's favorite judge, Paul Lauzon.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Samson, how you doing, Quint?
I'm
Hey,
good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm enjoying watching your guys' training videos.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
It's good to see you guys.
Uh,
somebody in the chat just said Paul is the honorary black guy. I don't
There's
know,
three of
Sam.
us.
I don't know, Samson, Quinton. I don't know if you guys don't watch the podcast, but Paul, one of every time we talk to Paul and we ask him like what he would love, every time he says he would love to be able to dunk and be able to rap.
oh, bloody hell.
So he
The
says,
black.
so he says every time he gets the chance, he tells everybody he wants to be black. So that's why somebody said Paul's the
You could be
Uh,
honorary black guy today.
his honorary black
yeah,
guy.
I was not blessed with those talents, and I wish I was. But and the bodybuilding genetics too. I wish I was born with that too.
No, you were born with that. You look great, Paul.
Thank you for it.
Um, Samson, how are you, man? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Yeah, everything is well. Everything go so far. The well prep has been it's been hard, but it's been peaceful, and been enjoying the process to it. And it's been a lot of fun.
So this is your first prep in your new gym, in your own
Mm-hmm.
home, with your own
Mm-hmm.
peace and quiet, with your music,
Yes.
with your dog running around and nobody bugging you,
Yes.
nobody.
No distractions.
Everybody knows like having fans is amazing, and we're all very appreciative of all of them. But when you're 6 weeks out and you're getting ready for the Olympia, Samson, how's it feel being in your new place and
Man, this
looking around at
that,
everything?
is another level, man. The whole feeling of it is different. I didn't know how much it would change just being able to, because I'm normally focused in gym anyway. But when you're in your own gym, in your own space, and everything is catered just the way you like it, it's another level, man. It takes your training up a notch.
Yeah,
It really focuses you, and it really puts you in the point where you're relaxing. Where when you're in the gym, you're not worried about, okay, I need to get to this machine. I need to sort of stay away from, sort of get people to stay away from me because I don't want to talk or something like that. You
right.
don't have any of that worries, and you just show up to the gym, you turn the lights on, turn the music up, and you get in that zone, and you stay in it until you're done.
Yeah.
So it's freaking awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
Can I ask you,
Just
sorry, Paul, go ahead.
I just want to ask you: is this the best environment you've ever had, Samson, for training for
Oh,
a
by
show?
far, by
Yeah,
far, by
yeah,
far. Even the area we live now, I mean, we can testify that the area we live now is out in the middle of country. There's no distractions. Out in the middle of country. We got the hot tub, we got the sauna, you got the post-workout soft therapy and everything else. And you're literally in that zone where you're literally going from house to the gym and back again. All our shopping and everything else gets delivered. And you're
oh,
just in that point and everything, you just at peace, man. You're literally not being disturbed. And you
yeah,
have that piece just focused on your training and be in that zone, and it's absolutely amazing.
yeah. And then you get to bring in guys like Quint and Andrea and stuff like
Yep,
that once
yep,
in a while.
yep,
That's
yep.
awesome. Good for you. That's
Exactly,
awesome.
Can I ask
So
you, a lot of people say like when you start making money, you start to lose some of that hunger that you get, right? So you've achieved the highest thing you can achieve in bodybuilding. There's no higher accolade in bodybuilding than Mr. Olympia. So if you have that, you have the house, you have the cars, you have everything. A lot of people would think that you slow down, but is there an element when you're in the gym of like you've earned this through all your years of hard work, which makes you want to push yourself further?
yeah, yeah, because you always have higher goal, especially being Mr. Olympia. Is okay, how many can you win? How
Okay.
far can you go? And not just that, but how far can you push this physique? Because it's different if I'm in an age where I'm slowing down and
Right.
my physique is now regressing or something. I'm just trying to hold on,
Right.
but I'm still progressing quite fast. And that for me is another push by itself of thinking, okay, how much can I push this physique? How much extreme can I do it? And then now you almost feel like you're in the right environment that sort of caters to that.
Yeah.
And that hunger for more is still there. It doesn't blunt off. It doesn't sort of taper off. And it's still just as raw as it's ever been. And you know what? It really sort of puts you in the zone where you're like, okay, I really want to do this.
But I guess I'm asking more, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'll move on after this. I just want to ask, I guess I'm speaking more on an emotional level. Like I'm just pretending like I'm putting myself in your shoes.
Yeah.
If I was in that environment, I would think to myself like how hard and how much work everything it took to get there. It would
Yeah.
almost make me want to work harder. Like,
Yeah.
do you
It is.
think, do you think
Yeah.
about that while you're training sometimes?
Yeah, because
All the years.
yeah, because you think about all the years where you haven't been able to achieve, all the years you haven't had this, and now you have it. Part of it, you also have this part of fear where you got it now, you don't want to lose it.
Right, right,
So
right,
Right.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
go, you're like, holy shit, I've never had this shit before. I've never been here before.
yeah,
So
yeah,
automatically it's like, it might go any time now. So you're like, oh, I better stay on my game because I don't want to lose any shit.
Right. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
already
yeah,
gives you that fear on that side. And then the other side of it is like, you're there, you're sort of in this belief that you have all these things and you're like, man, you feel proud of it. And because you
yeah.
feel proud of it, you want to take care of it, you want to push even
Right,
further because
right.
you've almost got evidence of your hard work works. What
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
works.
I guess that's kind of where I was thinking of it because like I haven't achieved obviously bodybuilding success like you have, but I've achieved success in other ways in my life, and I always think to I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like
Yeah.
it's almost like it's fake.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Yeah.
you're working so hard because you're like you just don't want it to go away. You're like
Yeah.
you feel lucky because you have these things. So you're like you almost want to nurture it and push it further just because like you feel like tomorrow you could wake up and it's just like
And it's all
poof.
gone. It's over. You know, because I
Right.
remember when I won the 123, I sort of felt that way, where I felt like when we came now, we started prepping for the Olympia. I sort of felt like I remember asking one of my friends at the time, I was training, I'm going, I have this sort of fear going to the Olympia prep that year that because I've achieved something that big,
Yeah.
is it gonna blunt my hunger into going to the Olympia? Is it gonna make me feel a bit like, okay, you're achieving success now, you're not as hungry? And
Yeah.
he kind of laughed, and bro, knowing you, not even close.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what came from it. And it's like when you've fought for something all your life, you don't all of a sudden stop.
Right.
You
Right.
don't all of a sudden then go, okay, well, that's it now. I can now lay on,
Yeah. You're
sit
not
back on
finished.
no, automatically you're having a bigger and higher goal you want to reach because
Yeah.
it's almost like you're only happy when you're chasing something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's a
Yeah.
weird feeling of you only feel purpose when you're chasing after something.
Right.
So as soon as you achieve one, you're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, and I know for a fact that my career, I won't really stop and look back and sort of really take it all in until I'm done.
Yeah. For sure.
Samson, before I ask Quint what I want to ask him, I want to ask you how many Olympias are you going to win before you retire?
Man, I want to go as many as I can until my legs and arms are falling off, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm
When
gonna
you
keep
think
going. Yeah.
when you think of retirement, do you have like a number in mind, or are you just like going to wait until
Literally, no,
your
I'm
body tells
waiting
you?
until my body gives up. Until the point where it's like, well, okay, it looks like, your physique just can't do what it can anymore. It doesn't do that. It's just looking regressing. And
Right.
then I'll be like, oh, it's time to stay on. Until then, yeah, I have no end in sight at all.
You're just getting started.
Oh,
Quint,
yeah.
Quint, you got a big show coming up next weekend. Sorry, not this weekend, the weekend after it. And you're going to train with Mr. Olympia. How you feeling, man? How does that feel? And to be welcomed into Samson's home and get to do like a kind of an end of your camp there.
It was like a dream, you know. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It's been an honor. It was like cool to have him reach out and have that conversation with him. And once that opportunity was there, I'm like, word. And I hopped on it within days. You
Right.
know, me and my lady, we left Canada, came right to the UK, and we got right into training,
You
man.
got right to work, eh?
Those
Were you
workouts have been like they're super effective. They're very good. They've just been next level. Like they've
Cool.
been next level. This guy, like the arm day feels like a leg day. You know?
Is it, can I ask you something? Because Samson's training is a little bit more, I don't want to say old school because I don't consider my generation old school, but like the newer generation is very like seems low volume, high intensity, and like just one generation back and further before that was like a lot more volume, a lot more pump, that kind
Shorter
of thing,
rests.
shorter rest periods, that kind of thing. And I think that's how Samson trains. Is that were you a low volume guy before you came to see Samson?
The funny thing, I've tried so many different things, but
Right,
I would say yeah, the volume was a little bit lower. Like my warm-ups were, I'd warm up to get the blood flowing, and then you do like two hard sets.
right,
Whereas we're doing and like even the warm-up is a pretty hard set. Like this guy
yeah,
puts the weight that he does, and I got to do it, and
right.
it's some heavy weight. So it's been good. It's been like it's just like thought provoking, You're like, okay, so
Right.
this is what it took for him to get to where he is, and now I understand. I got to feel for what I need to do to continue to push that density.
But if you can be a little bit more specific with me, what is like, okay, so your warm up was like, okay, I'm doing a few sets and then I get the muscle warm and then I'm getting to my couple hard ones. I know
Yeah,
Samson, you probably doing like 10 to 15 reps, even on your feeders,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Is that kind of some of the differences, like just more reps and they're more intense reps, even when they're feeder sets?
yeah,
So,
exactly. Like
yeah,
the feeder set might be it's going to be 15 reps. Superset was selling with like 12 to 15 reps,
right.
and sometimes it is somewhat difficult.
Yeah,
Where the other ones, you might just go do 6 reps, just get the blood flowing, and then you do more feeder sets. But
right,
like you're saving the energy for those hard sets. So you go really,
right,
really hard, but
right,
it's lower volume, high intensity. But
right.
I'm feeling just from experiencing this, I'm feeling a big difference in a
Well,
positive.
listen, me and Paul have been doing this for training together for 20 years now. And this is how we've always trained. We've always been like, and when I train with Samson, we've trained like this too. Like this, we train well together because we kind of have the same philosophy. We're almost like, I think Samson, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like we believe in the failure set, but we also believe in the blood flow, like getting that real swole, like pump before that failure set. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's almost like a pre-exhaust, but it's like more than a normal pre-exhaust. Would you say that's somewhat accurate,
Yeah.
Samson?
Yeah, that is because we know that there is like all our sets counts for something. It doesn't
Yes,
matter if the
that's right.
very first set, you're kind of like getting a blood flow. That is a set that you want to be
Right,
highly effective in it. You want to use that. And then every set you do to that point, you're pretty much close enough to failure in every set. And then the
right,
last bit of it, you then go all balls out anyway. So at
right.
this point, you're almost completely just taxing out your muscle throughout the whole workout, not just waiting till the end to now go, okay, now I can tax it out.
And I think that style volumizes the muscle more,
Yeah,
because you're
Yeah,
driving blood plus strength. Like, I know some
yeah,
guys like their feeder sets or they stop at 5 or 6 reps. They just want to
right.
feel the
yeah.
weight. They don't want to get any kind of effort
Mhm.
going yet. And I don't know. I don't know if they get the same kind of volumization to the muscle as you do with this style.
It's funny because nowadays the newer generation calls those junk sets.
Yeah.
We call them like our feeders. We used to make them count for something,
Yeah.
but now they call them junk sets. Like, oh, you're just doing too much volume. That's a waste. Whereas I think like it's a culmination of the entire workout. Like
Hmm.
every set counts, and then the failure sets are like the cherry on top. They like are the ones that really like make the muscle work. Um, Quint, do you think how much better do you think you're going to be from just the short time you had with Samson? Like, is it? I noticed you put up some photos on your Instagram. Let's see if I can bring those up here. And you did look a little drier in the photos that you posted, the side by sides here. Um, are you going to change anything? Did Samson give you any like ideas on how to change things for your peak or anything leading up to the show or what about that kind of thing?
Yeah, he did. Honestly, basically, since I've come here, since I've arrived, any advice or recommendation that he's given me, him and Marlenia, and basically all the advice that they've like really strongly recommended, whatever, I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And it's worked.
Yeah.
So he gave me advice for the peak,
Yeah.
and I mean, he could tell you what that is. I don't want to
No,
put.
that's okay. I'm not asking anybody to like really to like give out any secrets or anything. Like, and you can if you want to. I just curious, like, if there's some if you got some ideas of things you want to change, or if you want to divulge that, that's up to you. But
Yeah, the goal is just to keep things simple, you
right,
know.
right,
There's so many different ways to skin a cat, and with coaching in general, not just with peak week, with bodybuilding, there's so many different theories, there's so many different studies of this
right,
and that. This is not optimal, and you need to do this, you need to eat this much to fill out. And you could definitely get lost in the sauce throughout that process because there's just so much
right.
information. I would say most of it is misleading.
Yeah,
So it's been cool because obviously I trust their reputation. I mean, I've known him for years. He's the best in the world for a reason, and
right.
he's made the best progress in the last couple of years. So just like understanding the way he does things and how he broke it down to me, it was so simple, and
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
You know what I
Uh,
find so interesting about your guys' partnership is you're so alike.
Yeah,
Like I feel like Quint's where Samson was a couple years ago.
that's
And like, and you guys are both genetic outliers. So I don't know if the normal training, sort of philosophies apply to you guys. So for you to
yeah.
get a chance to learn from someone like Samson, who's more genetically and gifted like you are, I don't, you can't get that out of a textbook or out of, you know,
Yeah,
anywhere
but
else.
I think that's what when I saw Quinton obviously step on stage in Tampa and Texas, that's exactly what popped in my mind immediately. I was like, that looked like me just less than 5 years ago.
Hmm.
That's exactly the same critique and everything they had for me just less than 5 years ago.
Hmm.
yeah,
And I obviously saw the results and see everything happen, and I'm like, I know exactly what spot and how he feels being there right now, and
Right.
how
yeah,
much your mindset and everything else affects you right now. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, man, you know what? Any other person, any other time, I might be like, okay, just, it's none of your business, just stay on. Well, I've known Quinn for a long time now, and I've seen him progress. I've seen how hard he's worked. And I was like, look, bro, okay, if there's anything I can do to help, let me try. So
yeah.
I kind of say, look, no, if you want to, you come down, come watch what we do, come so learn from that, come see if you can pick up a thing or two from how we do things and see if it helps you. Because right now I know where your physique is at, and I know what I had to do to step it over the line. And right
Right.
now, that's all you need, the little notch to go over the line. So when he came here, it was straight up because you kind of look at his physique and you're like, wow, this is going to be something.
Mm.
But you know what work you need, especially with such a short time between now and his next show. He
Yeah.
can't drastically change too much.
Right.
But at the same time, you know exactly what in that 3 weeks, you know what you can change in
Like
3 weeks.
small things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they'll make a
Yeah.
big difference in that final product on that stage. So, I mean, props to him steadily because most guys will be like, yeah, not interested, especially
Well,
being
So
that
you
close.
reach,
In that
so
close
you
to the
reached out
season.
first, Samson? You reached out to Quint
Yeah,
first to offer. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yes, I offered him like, look, if you want to, you can come down to UK and come live with me, and spend the 3 weeks leading up to show here, and pick up whatever you can, and sort of like see how well that works for you, and
That's
so see
awesome.
how well what we've done with me, and see if, because I know that we got very similar genetics,
Yeah.
so it's
well, look,
working in the right way.
there's,
Yeah.
there's, uh, there's not many people who are willing to just openly take
Hmm.
advice from anybody. And I know you're Mr. Olympia, Samson, so it feels like
Yeah,
it feels like anybody would want to listen, but not everybody's like that. And the one thing I have to say, Samson, knowing you for so long now, is you take advice from everybody. Now,
yeah.
that doesn't mean it's all going to go into your playbook,
No, but you
but
listen.
you're willing to go train with someone, listen to them, try their
Mhm.
workout, whatever. That's always been one of the things I think that's made you so successful. And
Yeah.
I think that goes for like traveling, a business, whatever. I think you're very open to hearing people's ideas.
Mhm.
And I think Quint, you opening up, obviously it's a little bit easier because he's Mr. Olympia, so you want to listen to him. But I think just having that same philosophy is what made Samson Mr. Olympia because he's got all the tools now from everybody and just picked what he worked for him and used
Hmm.
that to get him to the top, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But Quint, I want to ask you, what's it like not having a coach? I know you have a lot of advisors and stuff, but like, and you have obviously Samson's a friend helping you and stuff, but you've kind of the first two shows that you went through already, Tampa and
Yeah,
Texas, you look phenomenal.
yeah.
And it's got to be kind of very uplifting and feeling good about yourself, knowing that you could do this by yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was. For the Tampa, that one was good. Texas, I wasn't thrilled about. Like I mean, I was happy. It was a great show. They ran it well, had fun, but I just could have been better, So
But
the thing is in terms of advisors, people in my corner have basically cut like everybody except for Hassan. You know Hassan,
yeah,
Jama.
Yeah.
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 Like he's been
Son knows his
solid.
shit. Yeah.
Yep. Been around a long time.
So yeah, basically, like it's been good because the only negative thing about it is people see you as vulnerable. Like, man, the amount of times you meet a coach or they'll message you and they'll, try and like, hey, by the way, if you need help, it's like, dude, I just had my best look. Why would I need your help?
Oh, you mean
Right?
are you talking about coaches or anybody?
Yeah, coaches, but also it's like everybody is acting like they're your friend because they want to be a part.
Oh,
They see that
Yeah.
you're almost over the line. And everybody's like trying to jump in. So the only negative thing is like it's hard to kind of tell who is really being a good friend or who's a
Right.
real friend.
right.
That's like the only negative. But outside of that, it's nice to know. I mean, listen, we all knew it back in the day, the 90s. A lot of these guys were coaching themselves and they
Yeah.
looked fantastic, better than a
Yeah.
lot of people do today.
Right.
If they were able to do that, it's very simple.
Right.
This industry has been kind of hijacked by the coach, like by a bunch of coaches, and there's a whole culture around bodybuilders need coaches.
Right.
Like anytime a show doesn't go perfect for someone, they message the bodybuilder, you got to hire this coach. You got to hire this coach. Like it's just a really weird culture where, it's very simple at the end of the day. Train hard, find a diet that works for you, do your cardio, practice posing. As long as you have it within you to do those things and stay
Right.
on track, you should be able to look great on a bodybuilding stage.
I think it is a few things. I think number one, there's a little bit of laziness. I think bodybuilders are like, oh, I can pay this guy. He'll fucking tell me what to eat. I don't have to worry about it. Look, I've been a proponent of coaches my whole career.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a be all end all. Like, I think for some people it's great. I think for some people maybe it's not necessary. But I do think if I'm speaking with your perspective, Quint, that hijacking came because a lot of bodybuilders became a little bit lazy. I can give this guy give this guy some money. He's going to tell me what to eat. Also, if I lose, I can put part of the fucking responsibility on this guy. I don't have to take all the blame myself. So that kind of alleviates a little bit of pressure. So there's a few different, and then also on the flip side, looking at it from my perspective, there's also a lot of guys that just don't fucking know. Like if you take Ronnie Coleman, right? Kevin Levrone introduces Ronnie Coleman to Chad Nichols. So you have a guy in Ronnie Coleman who doesn't know what a good stack looks like. All of a sudden he meets Chad Nichols and Chad Nichols is like, hey, take XYZ. Next thing you know, and I don't want to minimize what Chad Nichols did for Ronnie Coleman, but that was the main ingredient that was missing in Ronnie Coleman's approach because he was doing the train hard, do your cardio, eat all your food. And then he met Chad and Chad was like, yeah, but you also got to take XYZ to mix with what you're already doing. So there's an argument I think to be made for both. But if you're, like you said, if you're educated enough to know what to take and all that, then yeah, there's nothing stopping you from, being just like Dorian Yates, who did his own thing and won 6 Olympias.
I just think it can be simplified.
Yes.
You don't have to track. I mean, I think there's a lot of good tools to use to, just like if you like tracking data, there's a lot of good tools that you can use to do so, but I just don't think it's all necessary.
Right.
So there's a way to overcomplicate things, and when it's overcomplicated, you're probably gonna need more help because it's hard to analyze all that data. But if you just simplify it, like, okay, I'm gonna like for me, for the most part,
Right.
I don't track the macros. I just write out the meal plan.
Yeah, that's what I did.
There came a
Yeah.
time where I would cross-reference it,
Yeah.
but for the most part, that works fine for me. I don't need to know how many grams of carb it is.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? I just want
Yeah,
I just want to tell you something that's really fucking hilarious. Through my entire career and every bodybuilder and every coach I ever worked with, not one until I met John Meadows, like Hani, Chad Nichols, Chris Aceto, nobody ever sent me calories, protein, carb.
No,
They
just
just
diet.
sent me there's
Same
fucking
here. Same
here's
here.
here's 8 ounces of fucking steak. Here's fucking
Yep.
2 cups
Yep.
of rice. Here's fucking 1 teaspoon. And it's funny when they use a teaspoon of peanut butter, nobody's like, get the fucking scale out.
Actual
They're just like-
teaspoon.
They
It's
get
like
the
have
scale
a-
to weigh it in.
Yeah, they're just like, have a
You know
fucking
what
teaspoon, man.
is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just funny. Sorry to interrupt you, Quint. Go ahead. I just wanted to say, like, that's kind of like the normal way we used to do things.
yeah. So exactly. Like, and a lot of those coaches you named, I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's gone too far, man. Some of them, like, if any coaches are watching this, I'm not interested.
I'm just saying the other thing, like it goes to what you're saying, Quinn, a little bit about the over complication of it all. Like we used to just be like, eat 8 ounces steak. Now they're like, well, where'd you get the steak? And you got to fucking make sure you weigh it out every gram, and you got
Yeah.
to like make sure you got to know exactly how many calories that is and how many carbs that is. So like, it's good to know that stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but in one sense, Quint, it's also like it doesn't have to be that way. So
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is like very valuable.
As an athlete, you got enough to worry about without tracking your
Yeah.
macros so
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I find interesting about both you guys. You guys thrive better without traditional coach.
Yeah.
Like Samson has Mel, I know, but like, I'm sure you guys collaborate a lot together on how you're feeling
It's
or
the same thing,
whatever.
like, like with Mel, I don't have no idea what my calories intake is. I have no idea what my protein intake is. I don't know. I haven't even, she just puts down, okay, you're having this much steak or this much rice or this much thing. And then she cuts it every week. And I don't
Right.
even have a freaking clue. I just eat it. But then it saves me the point of having my mind stress about that instead of focusing on training and trying to be
Right.
perfect, like get everything perfect to be on stage.
Right.
And then you're almost like you're nitpicking every little detail and then you're micromanaging everything. And that ends up being added stress because then when things don't look the way they should in the mirror, you automatically almost getting your book out and trying to find out what's
Yeah.
going on and everything. When it could be a lot more simpler than that.
Right.
Yeah.
And for some people, they might be okay with that, but other people, they
Yeah,
don't want to be, they don't want to have
it
that in their
doesn't.
brain
No,
during a prep.
no.
Look, I want to stress there's nothing wrong with knowing all the data. John, when I worked with John Meadows, I worked with him for 3 years. We had a lot of good success. He was very, very uh, specific with all the everything that we did. But there is something to be said for the opposite, I guess is all we're saying.
For some
Quint,
people, yeah.
Quint, did you put your own diet together and everything for Texas, for Tampa and Texas? Like, did you start out 14 or 16 weeks out from Texas and say, or Tampa and say, okay, here's my diet. I'm starting from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Was it like that for everything? You kind of wrote out, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Oh,
Did anybody come and change it?
so closer to Tampa, like, I just had like some people get in my ear and start whatever, whatever. And I think up until 2 weeks before Tampa, like everything was like a lot more organized. I
Right.
was following like a set plan. I'd usually do my check-ins or any updates for my check-ins on like certain days. But then, you get closer to the show and you're listening to a friend, or friends, sorry. So, yeah, at that point, I started hearing stuff and then I would allow myself to
Mhm.
like, I'm like, okay, let me try something new. Let me try this out, right? So I that was the only point where I was, didn't have something set that I was doing. But then
Right.
immediately when that was done, I got right back to this. And honestly, my body works better like this.
Right. What about business wise, career wise? Samson, have you imparted? You said something earlier, Quint, that really caught me. You said that because you don't have a coach, you're very vulnerable and people come out of the woodwork to try and help you,
Mhm.
which I want to apologize because I sent you a message to try and help you as well at one point. I was like,
Oh, no,
I
not,
said to my
not.
message, I said, try do your back double bicep like this. I'm not trying to like get in your shit, but so you said that people were coming out of the woodwork to try and help. Do you feel the same way, like on the bodybuilding, like the business side of things? Like, because Samson's been very good. Listen, one of the things I have to say, Samson and Mel, the one thing I give them the most credit for, have been better than anybody I know about picking and choosing who is real and who is fake.
Mhm.
So, did Samson impart any wisdom on the business side of things and bodybuilding and like that kind of on that in that aspect?
Yo, tons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they've opened my eyes to a lot of different things and given me some really insightful uh perspectives on things that I just probably wouldn't have thought until I actually like had to come across it at some point.
Right.
So yeah, no, this trip has been very, very good in terms of that. I've learned a lot.
Samson, how's it feel being in the mentor role? Because this is a first for you.
Yeah, this is all first for me, but like I said, man, I was lucky enough to have you when I needed it. And
Yeah.
you mentored me through it. And you laid our hands up and said, look, and showed me what I needed to learn when I really needed. So it just kind of, it feels like right to sort of pass on that knowledge to someone else that you see in the same position. And, so automatically I just felt like, okay, if there's anything I can do, I get to help.
Yeah.
Maybe, I ought to try. And you know what? Sometimes some guys, they don't care. They won't listen. Like, okay,
Yeah.
they're like, fair enough. But you always kind of say, okay, I'll reach out. If he's willing to listen,
Yeah.
then, I could try to help. And, props up to Vince. And when I said that, he was up for it and he's always listening. And so when you have somebody that's receptive like that and they take it on board, you can then pass on, look, my experience and what I've learned with the journey I've taken and the pitfalls and everything else I've come with it. I kind of pass it on to you, say, okay, right, you know what, this is what you need to do. You need to pay more attention to this, you need to pay more attention to that. You need to be more open-minded to these different things and be more aware of what's going on around you. And just try to pass on as much information as I can and just realize that, you're trying to make someone a better bodybuilder. And that's not just their physique.
Right.
Because much of it, you can have the best physique, but your mindset doesn't match that. You ain't going far. So it's trying to have someone to open their eyes and open their mindset to the idea of what it really takes to do this at this level. And it's not just, okay, you have a great physique, great, but how is every other aspect of your life? How can you maintain this and be able to do this over a long period of time? And any information that sort of come past along the line and sort of open his eyes to say, look, just pay attention to these things. I can do to help for him. That would be great.
So I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying all those things, Samson. Thank you very much. But
well, I kind of mentored you, and then you pass it down to Samson. Now Samson passes it
right. That's right. That's right.
Full circle.
Paul taught me so much. Fucking asshole.
Hey, one quick question. Quint, were you going to do Italy before Samson asked you to come out?
Yeah, man, as soon as I had an inclination that I wasn't my best in Texas, I was looking at flights to Italy.
Okay.
Samson, I'm going to push you a little further on that last question. Do you get a sense of fulfillment? Is it just, and let's say it wasn't Quint. Let's say it was just like a random person. Obviously, you and Quint are friends, so you probably get a sense of fulfillment just because you're friend. But objectively, is there a sense of fulfillment?
Yeah, I mean,
just because you're teaching someone.
Because every time we do the meet and greet, every time I travel around the world and meet fans and everything else, and you meet people that ask questions and they want to know more and they want to understand more. And you know what? You pass on knowledge to them and you sort of tell them using your experience and say, look, what I've experienced is this, and if he can help you anyway, it's great. And you do get a sense of fulfillment of helping people because honestly, it's almost like this thing where, you know what? It's one thing achieving success and say, great, I'm successful. Oh, great, that's mine. But there's a different sense of fulfillment where you actually can reach out and then pull someone else up.
Right.
There's something much more greater in that. There's something much more greater to be said about that. And there's a feeling of just this euphoria of, okay, you're able to use what you have now to actually pull someone else and help someone else with it. Right. And no matter how successful you are, to not be able to share that, it's almost, I don't know, it's almost weird because you kind of sit there and on top of the hill by yourself and you're kind of feeling like, yeah, okay, I've done it all. I don't care. It's just about me. Right. But when you actually come out and he's like, okay, I see someone else struggling and it doesn't cost me anything.
Right.
So why don't I just offer them a help and say, look, if there's anything I can do to help you and anything I can do to sort of guide you and tell you, give you a heads up of what's coming, let's do that. And, and honestly, it's been working out great for him because even seeing him and seeing how much he's improved and how much everything has been since he's been here, I even look at it and I smile and go, freaking out because I've always been I've seen my progress has happened.
Right.
And for a long time, I've always been like kind of curious, the way I train, the way we do things here, is it being able to get crazy results from me? And part of me has always been curious, going, okay, is it just my genetics or is it just this training style work? So I thought, okay, to have somebody else come in and try and see what happens to them in that time. So as soon as come in, first 5 days he was here, I looked at his physique and we looked at it, we were like, holy shit, how fast he's transforming day by day. And there's a joy in it. There's really a joy in it when you're going, so there is something to this after all. Okay. And each day when he changes and each day he stands there and he poses and he goes through the pose and because he just sucks everything up like a sponge, which makes it even freaking great. And every time you tell him, you give him a little tip on his pose, you give him a little tip on this, and he takes it on. And next time he does it without even you saying, you're like, holy shit, okay. Right, and there's a big sense of fulfillment for that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you? Sorry,
testament to your character, Samson. I don't think everyone would take as much, would have that same approach. Some people are selfish. I think that's a testament to your character.
Yeah, I agree. Samson, can I ask you, does that mean post Samson's career, does that mean there's a coaching Samson in the works?
They probably might be. They probably may be. They probably be a guide, more guiding role or something like once
The
I'm done.
imagine that, Paul. The anti-coach becomes a coach.
Oh
Oh, dude,
wow,
I am
yeah,
not going to be a coach. No. I ain't going to be a coach.
a mentor.
That's far away from
mentor,
it.
mentor,
But
mentor.
mentor,
Yeah.
probably something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
when I'm done.
You better,
But
you
yeah,
better,
but I think it's only as good as people that want to listen. Because
yeah.
what I find now is, especially young guys coming up, they feel like they know it all.
That's
And
everybody, though. That's everybody. That's
yeah, and
always.
the thing is,
That's always
and
been.
this is it.
Is it?
So when you kind of feel that way, you kind of like, well, you know what? Okay, all good. You
Yeah.
you do you. But then when you find that odd person that's there that is willing to actually really listen, it's honestly, it's a breath of fresh air. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay. And it really does kind of like make you feel excited about this and excited about what you're doing again.
Yeah.
That's great.
Quinton, Urs Kelchinski has decided to hang up his trunks in Classic and step on stage in Italy as an open class bodybuilder. He says he's weighing 260, and he says he's in the same condition he was in Classic and all these great things. I don't want to say whether you can beat him or not beat him. This isn't WWE, but what I would do want to ask you is, are you excited that he's bringing all his fans with him to the show and that there's a separate spectacle coming to Italy? It's going to actually lift up the entire show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, right now, at this point in my life, like I'm all about bodybuilding,
Right.
I want
Right.
more fun, like better posers on stage, bigger guys on stage, more conditioning. I want it all on that stage. I want good
Yeah.
competition. I want a lot of fans. I want everyone to buy the live stream. Urs is a really good, he's a really good classic physique guy, and it's
Yeah.
about time that he moves up to the open. So I'm excited for this. It's going to be a fun time, man. Bodybuilding fans won't forget this one.
Do you change anything in your thinking, in your posing, in your prep, in your peak? Is there anything you change when someone like Urs comes along and says, "I'm doing the show too"? Because now you're like,
What do you
he's
mean
bring.
by someone like Urs?
Well, when I say someone like Urs, I'm thinking a guy who's going to have great shape and also great conditioning to go with it. So now you're not fighting against. See, you're lucky because you already had Mark Hector and Sergio who also have great shape and but I think Urs brings a different level of conditioning than those guys. So that's kind of what I mean is a guy like Urs comes in, you say, okay, this guy's going to he's going to have shape, but he's bringing peak conditioning. Does
Hold
that
on, Fouad, I got to stop you there.
stop me?
No,
Go ahead. Don't stop
no,
me. No, go ahead.
bro. It wouldn't matter if Samson was jumping into the show. I wouldn't
Okay.
be like, I need to change this. I'm gonna
Okay.
do
That's
what I
fair.
believe works.
No, that's fair. No, listen, this is why I'm asking you. And somebody said that to me in the podcast the other day. We were talking about, or no, maybe it was Urs when I had Urs on the podcast. We were talking about it.
Yeah.
I said something about, do you think the other guys are going to change anything now that you're jumping in? And they didn't really understand the question. And this is what I mean by it. Let's say you're going to a show and you're competing. No, I'm not even going to name any names. Let's just say you're going to a show and you're competing against a bigger guy, maybe who doesn't get in like really great condition. So you're going to peak the way you're going to peak. But if you know you're going to a show and you're going to compete against the guy who's bigger but gets in super sharp, grainy condition, does it change anything you're doing? Like, do you elevate anything? Do you change anything in the peak, or is it like, because you might not worry about condition as much if you're competing against the first guy who's like not a condition monster. Against now you're competing a guy who's like he's sharp all the fucking time. So you may you may think if I'm competing with this big guy, I got to be fuller, bigger. If I got to compete against this fucking super grainy guy, maybe I got to be super sharp and maybe not as full. So there is some mathematics to it. It's not as simple as saying I'm going to be the same no matter what. And Samson, you know this. We've talked about this.
I know that.
You
I
know,
know what you mean.
if you're competing against Nick Walker versus competing against Derek
You're going to
Lunsford,
highlight your strengths.
there's a little
Yeah.
different way.
Highlight your biggest strengths.
There's a little
Yeah.
different way in the way you're going to pose.
Yeah.
And the things
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like things like that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, Quint. I don't mean like you're not going to try your hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I mean it's yeah, I get what you're saying.
but for you, it's all the same. You're showing up.
Becoming your best.
You're coming your best. Period.
Yeah, like for me, regardless of what show it is, who it is, like I want to come in my sharpest. So for
Right.
this show,
Yeah.
for the show after, I want to be sharper, harder, more dense. Like I want to be better every show. So it doesn't
Right.
matter if I'm beside Gunter Schlerkamp or I'm
Right.
beside
Gunter.
Ron
That's a
Coleman.
Throwback.
It's a blast from the past.
I think,
Yeah.
it's
German.
like as long as I'm my best,
You're
I believe
happy.
in
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. That's fair. How old are you right now, Quint?
I'm 30.
30. How long until you're Mr. Olympia? And are you going to compete against Samson at Mr. Olympia? Are you going to be like on?
Olympia.
Do you think you're ever going to get in that first call out with Samson?
I will. But what I wanted to say, because there was a time for many years where I believed my career would probably be wrapped up like early to mid 30s.
Sure.
I always felt like, it's just in terms of longevity, this kind of lifestyle, I can't do it for long. Some of these other guys are crazy. And, I truly believe that even up until like last year,
Yeah.
or this year at some point. Now, just from coming here and learning things that I learned from Samson, and I actually believe I could do this till I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
started so early, Quinn. What'd you turn pro at 23?
yeah, around there, yeah, 22.
And you were natural when you turned pro too.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
but it's like, first of all, I think Samson will be able to be very, very good for a decade. I
yeah.
think he stay very good, continue to progress for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And just from being under this roof, training with him, learning from him, I believe I can too.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe in that. The thing is, I don't know if you guys want to get into this, but Samson has told me, and I'm sure he's fine sharing this, that he has taken the least amount of drugs that he's ever had. So it's like that alone is a testament to like working with Merrick and stuff has allowed him to keep things in check. So to keep him on for the for the long run.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's no reason to worry about retirement. But the thing is, Quint, I think a lot of your opinions are going to change from year to year as you go. And it's nice to hear that you've kind of decided that you can go longer because it'd be a shame to see you like step out before you've really
Yeah.
we really see the real deal, you know?
I think with both you guys too, you guys have the kind of frames that can continue to progress. Like some guys get limited by their frames. So, or even their structure, their flow of the muscles, whatever. But you guys have, like Samson, like I still think there's more upside to your physique,
Yeah.
as crazy as that
Yeah.
sounds. And Quent,
Yeah.
there is a upside to you. And you don't get that too much, especially at Samson's level, where there's still room to get better. That's usually you're
Yeah.
maxed out. Like I
Yeah.
think of a Hottie, as great as Hottie is, how can Hottie get better anymore other than maybe bringing his waist in a bit more? Where
Yeah.
Samson can still get better on that frame and still look, the shapes won't change.
Well, it's a shorter, you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
factor for the shorter guys versus the guys like you guys are both over 6 feet tall or whatever, close to it. Um, it's always going to be easier for them to keep packing it on and keep packing it on and not the
Do you
shorter
think,
guys. It's like William Bonac. Like William Bonac has used his physique to the
yeah,
absolute limit.
yeah,
Like there's no more you could put on that physique.
right.
So that's I think a perfect example of kind of what you're talking about, Paul.
You
I
think
think
that
I think
went to
that's
like
what
Before we say anything, I just want to say one thing. Guys, we're going to wrap up soon. So anybody in the chat who has any questions, drop them here and I'll try and fill them in as we go. Sorry, go ahead, guys. What you're going to say?
I was saying like this is what sort of makes it exciting, and that's what makes me excited doing this because like year by year, I see the change coming because it's almost like I always keep thinking, oh man, probably this is this going to be it? Am I sort of reaching that limit? But what is nowhere near it? And every year it's like, okay, you progress more, you're able to grow more muscle, you're able to change body parts and make look better at it. And it kind of makes you every time you see it and every prep you go through where you know that your physique is going to change to the last time you prep, it makes you exciting because then when you go into
Yeah.
prep, you're almost like, okay, well, I wonder what the surprise is going to be this time.
Right. Yeah.
So it's excited and it keeps that fire burning in you because every time you go through, you're almost like, okay, here we go, another year. What's going to happen this time?
Yeah.
And that change that happens to you time and time again, it sort of keeps you fresh and keeps you from actually ever getting to the point where you be like, okay, I might just grind in my wheels now.
Right.
Like there's something new to achieve in it, and there's a new limit that you can get your physique to, and the next limit, and the next limit, and you keep pushing for it, and it makes it really exciting.
Yeah. There's that constant progression.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
I don't think you get that with some bodybuilders.
Yeah, true.
Samson, how do you feel about Nick being here this year? He's been gone the last couple of years.
I know. That's it's about time.
And he's looking really good. He had a real close
Yep.
run in with Derek. A lot of people that were at that show like me and Ian were sitting right up front commentating, and some of the judges actually just say had
Mhm.
Nick beating Derek at the Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Nick coming back, and do you think he's a threat? You guys are 1-1. Nick told me
Yeah.
Nick told me you guys are 1-1, 1-1, and this is the tiebreaker.
That was like 3 years ago now,
I know, but
man.
he's still
Yeah.
using it.
But the
He's
thing,
still-
but thing, it makes me excited, honestly, because like you guys have always said in the past 2 years when Nick wasn't able to make it to Olympia, I was really disappointed about it. Because every year it's almost like, when something happens to me and he can't make it, I'm like, damn, we still gotta have a dance. So
Yeah.
this is so exciting. I was at Pittsburgh too, and I saw how much he's improved and everything. I was in Mexico, exciting Olympia. Now, yeah, I mean, as much as it is, Nick is a freaking exciting character to have on stage. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one. I'm definitely excited about this one.
How do you feel about being the only like think about this call out? It's going to be like you, then you're going to have Hottie, you're going to have Hottie, Derek, Nick, and Martin. You're going to be the only tall guy.
Dude, oh man, I wonder how that's gonna even look in the photos, man. I'm like, yo, Quinton, you
tower.
better hurry up and Quinton and Andrew better hurry up and jump in there.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going
Yeah.
to say. You got to get Quentin
You
Andrew
gotta
up there.
balance this stuff out. This is a bit towery now, man.
That's fucking hilarious. Samson, what do you think? Can I ask you for predictions, or you're not allowed to do that? You don't want to do that. I'm not saying you're going to predict yourself. You're going to predict.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. You're going to predict yourself first, obviously. And I think you're first, but
Yeah.
behind you, if you had to pick like 2 through 5.
Honestly, this is probably the first year where I haven't even thought about it. I genuinely haven't thought about it.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not
I
saying.
know in terms of no, but in terms of like obviously I know what I can sort of sit here and say, okay, I know what the top 4 is going to be like.
You're right.
I know it's going to be obviously me and Nick, Hardy and Derek. Who we find.
Yeah.
I can already sort of vision and that's what's going to be like.
Right.
How that's going to flip flop, I have no idea.
Right.
Because it's going to literally come down to what happens on the day when we stand on that stage. So I have no idea. But one thing I'm fighting for is to make sure that I'm the last man standing. So I'm like, fuck it, that's my job, So when you kind of doing it now, because I know for a fact that my job is probably the most simplest. Whilst the other guys somehow have to keep their shape, be conditioned, put muscle here or put muscle on the legs or anything like that. I just have to be in shape.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm literally the only one that has complete control of my own fate in the show. And for me, it makes my job a lot more easy and a lot more straightforward because now it's just like, okay, you know what you got to do is just suffer. Okay, I can do that. I can do that very well. So it kind of, it's in one hand, putting it that way sort of takes the pressure off me because I'm like, you don't have to focus on too many things and you don't have to focus on, your goal is just one simple and you can just keep, because of that, you can keep it completely focused on yourself because that's all that you need to worry about right now.
I'm going to ask a few questions here from the chat. First one is, how much is Mel helping Quint with the diet and possibly peak for Italy?
She's not involved in Quinton's diet. I mean, Quinton is completely prepping himself in that way anyway. Well, what we do, we obviously give him hints in terms of posing and in terms of training and everything else. And Mel itself involved in like giving them like tips around those parts, which is something we sort of, like I said, when we brought him here, it's for him to sort of see for himself and learn.
Right.
Not us, not him come here and then we tell him, okay, now you're going to do it.
Tell him what to do. Yeah.
Tell him, now you're going to do this, now you're going to do that. No, it's like, okay, we're going to impart the knowledge to you. What you choose to do with it is going to be completely up to you. And I think, he's a grown man. He didn't get here by luck.
Right.
He knows what he's doing. He knows his body better than any coach or anybody can possibly can. Right. And all you're doing is, like you said, sometimes you need a coach is just to give you information that you're missing.
Yeah.
You can take that information and implement it the way you want to.
Can I ask you something from myself on a personal level? Because you guys, somebody said to me in a podcast, I think recently, that do you think Samson would be better on stage if he had a training partner? Do you think it would elevate his training? And I think I said to them at the time, I'm like, Samson's Mr. Olympia. I'm like, there's not really anywhere better for him to be. But that being said, you guys train together. Are you guys like, do you feel like your training got elevated a little bit just with the friendly?
Because no matter how, look, we know we train hard.
Right.
But so you wouldn't be at this level if you didn't train hard. It's damn stupid. That's not think that you're gonna make it to be Mr. Olympia if you didn't train hard.
Right.
But at the same time, you always know where it is when you have a training day where you go meet the boys.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
It's not the same as training by yourself.
Yeah, you level up.
You level up. And whether you like it or not, you can't be asinine. So this is what this is. When we train together, you level up. No matter how hard you train, there's always that last few reps that somebody helps you push through where normally you could probably just give in. Well, guy being there and just assisting you and telling you, come on, one more. It pushes your game just a bit further.
Yeah.
Do you,
So that's really work out.
I imagine
you-
your guys' personalities sync up well too, as partners.
Yeah.
Because you know, I think that's why me and Fouad get along so well as training partners too. You got
Yeah.
one guy who's quiet, one guy who's talkative, and not work as much, you know.
Quint, do you feel like your training has gone up a notch other than just the volume? Obviously, do you think the intensity of it is like reached a new level?
Yeah, and I'd say it's most of it is just the mindset. You know, again, like getting a feel for this, getting a
Right.
feel for this.
Right.
That's been like the most like mind blowing.
Okay. This one's for Quint. What matters more at this point, the placing or the package you bring?
I want to win, like both to be honest. Like I want to love the look that I bring, but
Right.
I want to win.
Let's say you took second, but it's the best look you ever had in your career.
I
How would that
almost
feel?
swore. I almost swore. Yeah, no
Sorry, I don't mean to change any of your like positive thinking. I'm just like just trying to ask a question, man. I gotta tread lightly, eh, Paul? A week out.
Yeah, he's a week out right now.
I forgot what it was like when you were a week out.
Right.
I'm sorry. Forget I asked anything. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about Fouad.
How long does Samson think it's going to take Quint to be top 3 at the Olympia?
Honestly, looking at him and how fast he's progressing right now, if he has 1 or 2 good off seasons where he can put on just a little bit, it's not even a lot of muscle.
No, it's not.
It's just a little bit more dense muscle.
Right.
Honestly, you propel up there very fast because he already has everything. He's got the shape, he's got the lines, he's got everything else. And as they keep saying, you know, he just needs a bit more muscle, a little bit more muscle. So that can happen very fast.
Did Samson do that adorable world puzzle behind him?
Yes, I did.
Dude, that didn't come like
Really?
that. You put that together?
Oh, of course we put it together.
Bullshit. You didn't do that.
Oh, of course. Dude, every single one of those islands and every single piece is we put it together one by
Are
one.
you serious?
Yeah, because then we put dots on all the places we've been traveling to. So that's the place we've been.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so all the places we've been, there's like little dots on them. So we're like, okay, we know how many places we're ticking off.
Man, I love that thing even
Oh,
more now. I loved it before, but now I love it even more.
So the places that in white, places that you haven't been yet?
Yeah,
Or those places you have been?
There's like little, I don't know if you probably won't see from there, but there's like little pins
Oh,
on all the
Yeah.
areas we've actually traveled to, like we've been so far. And then once we want to go to, we're like, okay, that one's next. But yeah,
That's
we
a great
kind of
idea.
set it up in the office and like, okay, this would be nice. Sort of like a cool token of every year you're looking, okay, where should you tick off now?
yeah, that's really cool.
Samson, the white strip in America.
Yeah,
See that white strip there?
yeah, the cross top, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to do it.
What, going right across?
Just get a listen.
Oh, that's like North Dakota, that?
No, Mel is calling me out.
Because I did more when I was in Detroit.
I came back in the US.
You only did for like
What did Mel say? She did it.
Mel said she did it. No,
She
man,
did
I did half of it as well.
I know you did something, Samson.
Yeah, busted by the wife.
It's okay. You're supposed to take credit.
Yeah, man.
You gotta put a headset on, Samson, so she can't hear you.
Mel's taking half the credit for the Olympia. She got to take half the credit for the fucking.
I gotta share everything in half now.
Yeah, everything in half. Yeah.
I haven't
You
seen
gotta-
on and oh, it's me.
You
No,
gotta
no,
get
but
a
listen,
headset, Samson, so she can't hear you.
that white strip across the top of the U.S.
Yeah.
You got to get a fucking car and
And
drive
drive across.
and drive across it, dude. Me and Summer drove back from California. It was the
I saw the photos, man.
all I kept
Dude.
thinking, I'm like, Samson would fucking love this.
Dude,
it
I
was
saw the photos. Man. I was blown
Yeah,
away.
Montana and South Dakota,
Yeah.
and I think
Man.
I
I
didn't.
saw,
drive-
I saw the Mount Rushmore. I saw the it looks amazing.
So that
I
what you
would
did?
do that.
You gotta
So
go.
I would do that.
You went up the coast, Fouad, and then east?
Well, I didn't go up the coast. I wish we could have. I didn't want to waste that much time. We drove through the Rockies from Northern California, through the Rockies to Idaho, and then across from Idaho to Montana, South Dakota, and then Nebraska, Iowa, and Michigan. So
Okay.
the best part was Montana and South Dakota. Yeah, just fun. Anyway, okay, let me move on. I don't want to waste time. Quint's a week out. Any more questions in here? Is Mel now coaching Quint? No, no.
See, there's this mindset within the industry that like
Yeah.
you just can't coach yourself.
He's about to lose it. Lose it. Let it go. Quint.
Because like
It's like-
Quint's gonna crash out. Go.
Yeah.
I legitimately
Got it.
think bodybuilders, if you happen to bodybuild, if you compete, you cannot do anything for yourself.
In
Let
yourself.
that person coach. You can't do it. It's so crazy to me. It's like I had a friend in some of my videos leading up to the show, like, oh, he's coaching Quint. And I was like, bro, like, okay. It's like you can't take ideas from someone, you can't bounce ideas off of somebody, like you can't like get help from like it's like if you are around someone else that is within that industry and knows a thing or two or a lot, they're coaching you.
Yeah. Quint, can I tell you something? You're the most mellow, intense person I know in my life. Okay, I gotta ask. What has Quinton enjoyed most about staying with Samson? How does he feel about Samson's place and the spot across the pond?
Sorry, what
I guess
what
he
I-
means. I guess he means like two things. What's the thing you enjoyed most about staying with Samson? And then second thing is, how do you feel about just being in his house, his gym? Like, how does all that like feel to you? I guess.
Well, number one, I think is just like getting to know him
Yeah.
and his wife on a deeper level and truly, like I've always thought they were good people. I've always thought Samson was a good guy, but just when you hear the kind of advice that he's giving me, the kind of tips that he's giving me, not even about bodybuilding, just
Yeah.
in life and how to conduct myself, it shows you like the character of this person is just, it's on a different level. So I'd say that's definitely like the highlight, just getting to know him and,
Yeah.
having him pass down that wisdom to me. Both of them passing down the wisdom to me, it's been really, really, really helpful for me for
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, like being around the gym, like it's just it kind of like sets you up because when I go to my home gym,
Right.
I'm always in my head like, oh my God, this person is about
Someone's
to talk.
gonna ask me. Yeah.
It's like every
Yeah.
second, it's like, oh, I gotta like smile at this person. Now I like everybody and I'm a nice person. So I'm
Yeah.
going to greet everybody, but in my mind, I'm like, man, stopping to say hello takes a second of focus away from my workout. And I'm like, I hate that I have to do that, right?
Hmm.
So it sounds, I sound selfish, I sound like an asshole,
No.
but
No.
being in this environment, I'm like, I need a gym like I need to have my own gym.
Are you still at Pure, Quint?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Can I-
that's the bodybuilding community in that area.
I just want to say this for people watching. It's not selfish. It is a little selfish, but it's not. I don't even know if it's focus is the right word, Quint. Maybe it is for you. For me, it's when I'm a week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out. I feel like I'm drained,
Yeah.
and I have no energy or emotion to give to the girl at the front desk at the gym.
Right.
I walk in the gym. She's all bubbly. She's had 5 meals today. Hey, how you doing? How you feel? How's your prep? And I'm just dead inside.
Mhm.
I don't have the energy to like lift up and be like, oh, I'm doing really good. How are you? I'm really just like, fuck, my life sucks. I just want to get through this. I just want to go crush this fucking workout.
Yeah, I only got enough
So,
energy for this workout. That's
Yeah,
it.
I just don't have the like. I don't know. You turn it on for people. Like
Yeah.
when you're in prep, you're really like here,
Some people aren't.
and you got to switch away and come back, and it's just like, yeah.
When I used to work, when I used to get into a prep for a show, I used to switch my shifts to all midnight shifts,
Yeah, see, I'm
so I could
talking about
avoid
that.
as many people as possible. Because
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
people be like, well, just ask you questions that I don't have the energy or the
Explain.
patience to answer right now.
Why are you eating
Yeah.
grilled chicken? Why don't
Exactly.
you put some sauce on that?
Yeah. Are you losing too much weight? Your face looks thin. It's like, just eat me, please.
Why are you eating asparagus? You know, there's not that
Yeah.
not that much micronutrients.
or really, I got an extra apple. Is that on your diet? You want an
Yeah,
apple?
yeah.
My mom, when I used to live with my mom, the first show that I did when I was like 19 years old, my mom just, I was trying to be a good mom. She'd be like, oh, you want me to get you some chicken? You want me to send your dad to KFC for you? I know you eat chicken. I'm like, I can't eat KFC, mom. I would get so mad at her. But
Oh, boy.
Okay, guys, I feel like I'm keeping you too long. We've been a little over. I know you guys probably are nice enough to stay, but I don't want to quit. I know you're a week out, dude, so I don't want to, like you're just saying, take your energy. Are you guys training today? When do you guys leave for Italy?
We already got back.
Oh, you already got back
So-
from training.
Yeah, we are hamsters today, so we're already.
When do you,
Right
so you
down.
leave, tonight? You said you leave tonight, this morning.
So
tomorrow
I'm
morning.
leaving very, very early this morning because I'm guest posing in Romania this weekend.
Oh,
so,
that's
Oh, yeah?
right. Okay.
yeah. So
a lot of people are going to want to see that.
Not at all because
Are you ready for the? Are you ready?
You know,
for the
I agreed. honestly, I was going to keep it completely on the wraps of this Olympia stage.
Oh no,
But
they're waiting.
I already agreed to guest post in Romania, and I was like, okay, 6 weeks out, at least they can see that, And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not close enough. Yeah.
It's not close enough, but I was going to keep the whole thing on the wrap until
What's going to happen anyway. They're going to see
everybody
you.
forgets in 6 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
No, they're going to see you in 6 weeks and be like, oh no, he doesn't look ready yet. He's not going to be in shape. Or he's too far ahead. Maybe he's not going to be. He's going to be
Or the
too flat.
opposite.
Yeah.
It's going to be one or the other. It's like
Yeah.
that's what happens. But it is what it is, and you get to the point where you're confident in what you're doing, you're confident in the plan and everything else, and you're just like, look, I'm just going to get this done, and just have fun doing it, and you see you in Olympia.
Yeah.
Quint, when do you leave?
I leave here on Tuesday to go to Milan, Italy.
Okay. When is Samson, do you think after this podcast you're going to get a whole bunch of people messaging you?
Oh, probably, but at the same time, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I've forwarded it before to a few pros in the past.
Yeah.
I've offered them before a few times. That's why I'm like, it depends on what their personality like.
Do you want to tell me any names?
I don't want to put names that we all know. Put it this way, it's names that we all know. And I've offered them this, even like literally to the start of this year all the way to a few weeks ago. I've offered them to them. And they didn't see enough to want to take it. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Oh, you know what? I forgot Andrea came too. How was that?
Yes. Oh man. Andrea so he's another one. Like he came and we had a freaking great session and everything else. And I helped him out with his posing and sort of touched on a few things that, I've noticed with him when he competes. And he was so grateful for it. I mean, honestly, it was so nice to have all the atmosphere that was happening there in the gym at the same time. It just felt like old school bodybuilding.
That's
because
good,
we
man.
were just going at it and grinding at it, and the whole atmosphere, because his coach Team Stone, he was there as well, and it just felt the whole environment at that point was like you kind of look back. I looked back and I looked at everybody in the gym training. I was like, I just kind of smiled and going, you know what, this is what bodybuilding is about. This right here is
the iron bond.
Well, you can't wish for. Yeah, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That's cool.
Well, listen, man, I'm looking forward to Italy. Looking forward to see the show. There's a lot of good competitors there. And obviously, everyone's looking forward to seeing you, Samson, guest pose and at the Olympia. I wish you guys both the best. I'm going to talk to you both soon for sure. But I'm going to let you guys go. Paul, do you have anything to add before we go?
Just good luck, Quint. I'm looking forward to seeing Italy. I hope, you've always been a great guy. You got a great physique, and I just hope I know you've been right there, and I hope you really have your best luck this weekend and you're happy with it. Samson, it's always a pleasure seeing you, my friend.
Always pleasurable.
All the best.
See you guys in Vegas.
Why does
yes, sir.
Why does it always feel more genuine when it comes from you when you say it?
It's
like
I say what?
You just got this soft heart about you. You say good luck, and I'm like, well, it comes from the heart when I say it.
It does, but you're just a little bit it's a little bit harder than me, Fouad. That's all.
Okay. All right, boys. Listen, thank you very much for the time, man. I hope you guys have a great weekend and safe flights. Okay.
See you guys.
You guys.
All the best.
All right, boys. Take it easy.